Hello, everyone. That was a custom banana rendition of Given Up by Linkin Park. So today I have a full stream planned, and I didn't change the title. I don't know. Actually, I think I did. Um, I so I this doesn't work because I have three things. I explained that in the last stream, and I still reached for it. So today, the main topic is I'm going to be doing a product review on something I got for Christmas, and so that something is a set of computer glasses. I actually got two sets, but that's not really relevant for the product review. And I'll also I want to give a little update on what's going to happen with the channel because big things are actually happening. And we have a new word sheet which my girlfriend and her sister just filled out without my supervision. So I'm not really going to look at that until we get to the random words, and we should just have some random things going on. I just realized I have this already on Paint, so we're going to switch this over while I'm just talking, and then we'll switch it back over when we start doing the product review and the random drawing because I don't have a background specific to the product reviews. If I start doing those more often, I'll be sure to make a background for them. But at the moment, I'm just going to use the Paint background. So the big news. First off, I want to mention that I have an idea for a game that I want to work on that is a situation where the user is playing against an AI, and it's kind of going to be. I'm hoping that it'll be along the lines of a horror game, but the uh, the monster or the person that's chasing the player is controlled by the AI and learns how to better chase the player, I guess. So I'm tossing some ideas around. I do have a general idea I want to run with, but I'm gonna keep that until I have something solid to show you guys, just in case I end up switching that idea around. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up too much. Um, so that's the news with my projects. I haven't really worked on anything else since then, but with the game, I do want to work a little bit with TensorFlow, and that's Google's AI. Um, I can talk about that more when I have gotten a little into it. Um, but I want to mention the big news for this channel, and that is that I have a relatively well known guest that is going to be appearing on next Saturday's stream. So this is a YouTuber that I follow, and his name is Mike. He is the CEO of the Useless Duck Company. So if you are interested in checking out his videos before he comes on the stream, his YouTube channel is Useless Duck Company. He makes some machines and inventions that some may say are slightly over the top, but all stick straight on to practicality. So you can go check that out. But I'm talking with him tomorrow, and he should be on the stream Saturday. And I believe we're going to do a midday stream around at starting at 1 o'clock. So that's a little bit different, but I'll be sure to try and get the word spread out with that. So the topic for today, I'm gonna switch the screen over to Paint. The topic for today is a product review, as I said, and so that product is, see if you can read that on the case. It is Kirko Eyewear. So a little backstory with this: my dad, he is high up in his field of engineering, but um, he is also the co-owner of his branch of a business. So a business class out at a college in my hometown asked him to come give and help with lecturing the class, and in the process, he met some entrepreneurs. One of those entrepreneurs was the person who was running Kirko Eyewear, and and actually it just happened that on my Christmas list I had put that I wanted computer glasses, and so what computer glasses are here are the ones that I got. They're kind of a yellowish lens, and what it is it doesn't necessarily lower it adjusts the color of the lens of the light a little bit, but what it does is it just slightly lowers the intensity so that you if you're in a situation where you're going to be looking at a screen for a very long time, it can help out so your eyes don't get tired and you don't get headaches from staring at the light. Now my computer already is its screen is somewhat of a matte finish, but the TV I have as my second monitor, when I'm close to it, it is blaring in my eyes. You can actually see the light coming from it, and I think if I put the glasses like that, you can see the reflection. So it's interesting. But we're just gonna talk a little bit. Just I'll give my general take on the glasses, and we're gonna go on from there. So I'm just gonna set up a pros and cons column here on the paint window. So we're gonna say pros and then cons, and let me just go ahead and write out the name of this brand at the top. So this is Kurgo Eyewear. I misspelt wear. Congratulations, Jono. There's a reason I'm an engineer. Um, so, first off, I just want to mention that I have some knowledge of other brands of computer glasses, and whether they be computer glasses or gamer glasses, but generally they fit the same purpose. It's more of a stylistic thing and which demographic they're going towards. I would classify these as computer glasses simply because they do look rather professional, and I would say that it makes me look slightly more professional even with the hat, but um, the thing I really like about these, just right off the bat, is they are relatively well manufactured. So if you give them a little bend here and there, everything has some give to it, which is really nice, especially when it's going on your body in general, is because everybody's face isn't necessarily the same shape. So what that means is that it can kind of fit the contours of your face a lot more, and it does, for me at least, make the glasses fairly comfortable. I do have to mention I do wear a lot of sunglasses, but in terms of actual reading glasses, I don't need them. So I never have any just rigid glasses. I usually have either sort of the Ray-Ban style sunglasses, or I have some athletic wear sunglasses. Um, these are a different shape for me, and so it does take some getting used to in terms of seeing myself wearing them. And also, I don't know that the style of them necessarily gives them too many points. So I'm just gonna start out writing some of the pros and cons. I would say a major pro is structural stability. And so that would have to do with it can take a hit. It's got some give to it, and uh, overall, it does add to the comfort. So I'm gonna add that as well. Comfort. Now there isn't necessarily any padding on it, and so that may. Oh, there is actually. So there's this rubber material along the ends here for where it's on your ears. That's nice because when you wear anything for long periods of time, your ears tend to be relatively sensitive. So if you have like headphones in, they can start to hurt after a long period of time. So that's a nice feature. It is something that's relatively common on glasses in general. Um, but what but there are more comfortable styles of glasses that are simply more material. I know the athletic wear glasses and sunglasses tend to be fairly comfortable, simply because they tend to be moving around a little bit more than glasses that are just for sitting and looking at a screen, or sitting and reading for something like that. These, for the purpose that they are made, do the job. So I'm putting comfort on the pros side. Cons, I do say that originally when I saw them, I had to put them a little lower in the style points department. So that is important to some people. So I'm more of a practicality guy, but my girlfriend did immediately mention that I shouldn't wear those out in public. I still might, just because I tend to not care what people think. But they are kind of growing on me because I think that, especially if I add the hat to kind of uh, counteract the old man vibe, it does kind of look nice. So I do have the screen reflecting in the glasses here. I'm trying to get a shot where they're not having the reflection. There you go. So you can kind of see my eyes through it, but they are, I believe, polarized, so that allows for this reflectiveness while still being very accepting of light. So polarization, essentially, light is fluctuating at different angles, and polarization just only allows a certain orientation of light to come through, which significantly lowers the intensity because the density of light coming through is significantly smaller. So I'd put that the reflective slash polar and the a con, I guess, in terms of the stream is that you can't see my eyes. So this is kind of a pro and a con. Now, because I got these as a gift, I am not fully aware of how much they would cost to the regular consumer, nor do I know whether they are currently available to the regular consumer because it was an entrepreneurial class. I'm not sure if they are already a product or if these are a prototype. But I gotta say, if they are a prototype, it's very well engineered. My dad was under the impression that they were more towards the finished product end of the spectrum, and they definitely look like a finished product. This doesn't look like it looks like there's been some thought into it. There's a relatively thick nose piece here, which is different from the metal varieties, which tend to be relatively thin. They can leave a lot of lines, but with a thicker nose piece, it actually doesn't even sit on my face at all. So that's pretty nice. Um, so I guess what I want to ask is what you guys think of this. So definitely leave your opinions in the chat, in the comments later if you are watching this not live. And let me know what you think of the Kirko eyewear computer glasses. Now, just to give you some brands in case you want to compare what they look like and price range if you do find that to other brands. I know that in terms of gamer glasses, there is a brand called Gunners. They tend to be fairly popular in the gamer realm. That was the demographic they were going for, um, and I believe to give you an idea of what those would look like, if you know what Oakley sunglasses look like, the Gunner computer glasses look more towards that spectrum of the eyewear realm. So I definitely think that there are more pros than cons due specifically to practicality. Now, as I said, I don't have too much experience with glasses in general, so this may be a opinionated statement to say that these are doing the job well, but they are definitely doing the job. So I would commend them for that, and I think that they definitely grew on me as I just kind of wore them. They are relatively unintrusive, so they you kind of lose them on your face, and that's pretty nice with glasses in general. Because if I'm sitting here doing something monotonous, and I don't want to be constantly feeling the glasses on my face, these hug the face pretty well. They stay where they are, and they definitely get the job done. I currently have a little bit of a headache, and it's definitely a lot more pleasant to look at a screen through the glasses, even though it doesn't necessarily affect my visibility that much, or at all in general. I can also read in these glasses. If there's a light that's too bright or from a weird angle, I could put these on to read, and it wouldn't impede my ability to see the page, but it does lower the intensity of the light, which is very nice and is definitely a significant long term investment in health. I know a lot of people tend to degrade in eyesight over time. Um, Both of my parents wear glasses, and I am working on trying to make sure that I can postpone that for as long as possible. So I always usually wear sunglasses if I'm outside, and with this now I won't be staring at um, all of the light coming from my screen when I do my 4 hour overnight coding sessions. So that's all I want to say on the Kirko eyewear. If you guys have any questions, or like I said, if you have any opinions on how they look on me or how they look in general, I'll give you one last look at them as we're closing this section out here. But I am going to be moving on to my random drawing section. So we will be switching over to that. Okay, so I have my calculator out. We're going to go grab a random number. I'm just going to redo it. I thought I had it in the recent thing, but sorry about this. All right, so as I mentioned while I'm doing this, in the start of this stream, I have a new sheet of paper to select my random words from. I will give you a quick glance of this, but I myself have not looked too much into what is on this sheet of paper. I actually, just before this stream started, had my girlfriend and her sister just fill out this page, which is why it is in blue ink and not pencil, because I am an engineer, so I write in pencil. But I will be pulling off of this page, which I have not looked into too much, so we're just going to see what happens. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of words being used already, unless they chose words that were used already in previous seasons, I guess, of the random drawings, but I'm going to probably just use whatever I get. So the first number is the number 17, which is dog. The second number is the number 18 for our verb is purring. And our adjuster word is 8, which is rotten. I don't think this is a combination they were really looking for, but boy, did we get it. So we would need to figure out why a rotten dog would be purring. Now, perhaps this is a an attempt of the feline variety to assimilate into the canine culture and destroy it from the inside. Everyone knows that cats and dogs are mortal enemies. That's how it works. There's no other situations, literally no exceptions of cats liking dogs, just none. So we are going to have a and just to clarify, purring is something that normally cats do, whereas dogs bark or kind of make a motorboat noise while they're sleeping. But cats, what they do is they purr, which is the just kind of the pitter patter of whatever is making that noise. I guess that's something that nobody will ever know. Um, so we need to start out with a dog. We're gonna just kind of work with a generic dog shape. We'll go for maybe the Clifford size, not Clifford sized, but Clifford style kind of dog. Now I have dachshunds, and that tends to make me always draw dachshunds. So I'll try to make the legs a little bit longer than I normally do. Um, but so you can see, most people just kind of draw these straight tube shapes for dog legs, and the problem with that is they forget about the actual shoulder blade equivalent that dogs have. I don't know if it's necessarily called a shoulder blade. I think it might be. My dog is a dachshund, and with small legs, they tend to have a little bit less force dissipation upon falling. And not that they've fallen any long distances, but the one dog specifically would jump off the couch fairly hard. Because she was relatively muscular, she would leap off the couch, and getting that extra force down on her front legs as she hit the ground caused a problem with her shoulder blade. And so I'm assuming it is a shoulder blade, but it is the dog equivalent of a shoulder blade if it is not. And she actually had to have she had surgery on her shoulder blade, and had to be helped up and down from the couch for a very long time. She is now somewhat more traumatized by it than unhealthy. So she is significantly healthy enough to get up on the couch, but she tends to be somewhat tentative. And it's probably best that we help her, considering her past injury. Now, I need to flesh out this leg a little bit, but maybe I don't because of where this picture is going. But we're going to start with a baseline. So we have our dog. We're going to start with kind of three-dimensional drawing, and we'll see where that goes. All right, so we have our dog, and let's see, what kind of ears do we want to give this dog? We could give the dog some kind of pointier Doberman-like ears, or maybe like Chihuahua-shaped ears. Um, there tends to be only a few type of ears. There's the floppy ones and there's the pointy ones. Um, Megan and Katie's dog actually looks somewhat like a fox. The way her ears are, she's got little tufts of I guess more like a minx kind of in with the ears, but then in general body shape more like a fox. She has a very poofy tail, but we're going with the normal dog tail here. And so we're going to, like I said, just draw a dog normally, and then start with the enhancements to further the picture along. Now, I will admit, this does look somewhat like a kangaroo, just walking on all fours for some reason. But I guess they do that sometimes. Their legs are significantly larger in the back, but we're going to get some detail in here. We need, I think that perhaps this neck region needs to be fleshed out a little bit more, and the facial region should not be extended as far as to not give this a kind of deer shaped figure. I think whatever I do, it is turning into a deer-shaped figure, but we'll have to back out and see. I mean, it's getting there. It's getting there. So we'll kind of extend the head region like that a little bit, and I think we just need to kind of cut down on the underbite a little bit, and we should have more of a dog appearance. And so we can get an ear like that, and the other ear is facing the other way. So this is the dog we're working with. It's not the most detailed dog. We could go with some coloring, but I think we'll do some coloring later. Now, this is just the first word. Our first word was the noun dog. We need to start adding in the other words. So now let's get some backstory on this. So we have, like I said, we have a feline, that is a cat for those who do not know, that is perhaps wishing to impede on the dog activities. Now, in normal situations, a cat would not be accepted into dog society based off of stereotypes and other societal standards. But if the cat were trying to somehow sly it in a sly manner make its way into dog society, it would need a disguise. And knowing the conniving cats, they would have to probably take a dog as tribute for this task. So we're going to take Spike here, and this Spike is no longer Spike. Um, so what this means is that a cat would probably have to enter the dog from either the front or the back. One may be preferable to the other depending on opinion, and the cat would have to somehow control the dog from the inside. I guess there is a possibility that the cat could go in through the stomach area. That may help in creating room for the cat inside. Now we can kind of make an outline of the cat in general. So the legs will be somewhat skinnier. They will still bulk up at the front, and we'll see some stomach here, and I think you get the picture here. So we have our cat that is hidden within this dog and is controlling the movements. Now, this would be probably successful for some time, although animals in general tend to be very quick to understand the obscurity of situations. They can sense natural disasters significantly before they actually happen, and animals, pets in general, would probably start to smell the difference in what was going on here. So if this dog were to be purring, so it's going to go purr purr, because that's what purr sounds like, then this dog would definitely have to have a cat on the inside. And if that were happening, then perhaps for the first, let's say, 12 hours, there wouldn't be any significant difference. But as we approach maybe 24 hours or even 72 hours, we would start to see some changes going on here. So there may be some discoloration. Perhaps there would be some sagging at the entry point. Now, I can draw that sagging at any of the entry points, but I'm just using this as an example. And there would also possibly be some decaying due to maybe bacteria or parasites that would cause some fissures in the flesh, maybe some peeling back, and we would see the maybe some of our assailant on the inside, so we can continue this trend of revealing the perpetrator. So we're going to go with a gray color to emphasize this, perhaps a gray cat trying to impersonate this dog. So we are going to just kind of color in some places and get some detail on here. And then we will be finishing off this picture, because I think the picture, if not completely drawn, has been well described. So we'll get some coloring in there. But one interesting thing is we would start to see some greens and perhaps some blues as well along the stomach region. And I think you get the idea. So, as I said, I definitely will be hyping up this Saturday's stream in the week to come. I do plan on streaming on this Thursday. I did mention that on Facebook that the midweek streams would be moved to Thursday due to scheduling with my school. I have a class that starts at 6 and can go on to 8:50. I figured instead of making people wait until I get back, because it is a 30-minute drive from campus, I would just save myself the hectic nature of it and just stream on Thursdays. So I will be getting you guys more information as I talk with Mike tomorrow. But in the meantime, I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on Thursday.